week I'm testing out the waters in Tokyo ahead of 2020.
We're taking the lens cap off for a photographic tour of South Africa.
It's the moment, I think. It's the perfectly captured moment. We can create a poem with every picture.
And Tommy's getting his movie headset on for the very latest in travel gadgets.
I can keep a little eye out for the drinks trolley. There's no sign of it yet.
Tokyo is teeming with tourists right now. On the streets of Asakusa, it's shoulder to shoulder with barely room for a selfie stick. The yen is weak and travellers are taking advantage. Last year, an estimated 15 million foreign tourists came to Japan. And if you think it's busy now, industry insiders say it's only going to get more manic in the lead-up to the Olympic Games in 2020. Tokyo will build a number of the 37 Olympic venues from scratch and spend an estimated $1 billion refurbishing the old National Olympic Stadium, centre of events back in 1964.
From the August this year, the exposure of Tokyo or Japan itself is going to be increased drastically, and a lot of people all over the world are going to pay attention to the Japan or the Tokyo. So it's a very good business opportunity.
Always at the forefront of innovation, the country is keen to put its best technological foot forwards for all those potential Olympic tourists. Back in '64, the Japanese unveiled their Shinkansen, then the fastest train in the world. This time round, prepare yourself for the robot taxi.
If you were coming from the UK, then you could book a robot taxi just like you would book your hotel over the internet. And I'm assuming there will be a lot of foreign tourists coming to Tokyo for the Olympics, and I'd like to think they could use this robot taxi daily while they are here. But it's not only for the Olympics. I'd like it to be used by tourists well after the games are over.
So from the outside, it looks like an ordinary car, but once you get inside, there's so many cables, computers, cameras. Higashi-san, how does it work?
So this monitor tells you if the sensors are working properly or not. So all you need to do is press this button to start or stop.
Nandeska, what is this?
Emergency buttonを押します。
Emergency stop.
Stop です。
That's good to know. Obviously, these robot taxis will only be allowed on set routes. And of course, there's the minor technicality that they have to change the law to allow driverless cars on the road. And come 2020, there could be robots to carry your bags. So I'm going to put on this rather nifty belt here, and it's equipped with an infrared beacon at the back. So I clip it on like this. And this will talk to these carts here that are carrying my suitcases. These carts can carry up to 100 kilograms each, making light work in a country faced with a chronic labour shortage due to an ageing population and decreasing birth rate. It's like I've got my own robotic minions. Its inventors hope they can be used to transport heavy goods to and from the Olympic villages and stadiums, and possibly airports and hotels in the future. It's all about making life easier for tourists and breaking down that language barrier. English is more prevalent now on public transport, particularly in Tokyo. So far away from the maddening crowds, we're about to get onto a boat called a Yakutabune. It's a dinner cruise down the Sumidigawa River that passes a number of iconic sites as well as the plot of land set aside for the Olympic Village. I love these lights. This is such a spectacular view, something that you don't really see every day. Downstairs, on the traditional tatami mats, there's space for more than 100 passengers, but they're mostly Japanese.
So I really love the idea of coming on an evening cruise with dinner. It's a unique and different way to see Tokyo. But as you can hear, all the commentary is in Japanese, so I guess this is probably one of the reasons why these sorts of tours aren't so popular at the moment.
I spoke with a group of expats on the cruise about what can be done to make Tokyo more accessible for foreigners in the lead up to 2020.
We were talking about the view because, like, you know, lived in Tokyo 10 years, 6, but you never get to see the Tokyo the way you see it from the river. You know, there's definitely a different
view of Tokyo than you get when you're in the city.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
For me, the Japanese commentary was a bit of a problem. I didn't really know what was going on or what the sites were. I had to rely on my Japanese friend.
And we're ridiculously fluent, so, you know, it's just blows right in.
Ridiculous is the word.
The keyword. Well, actually, we talked about it. You know, in a sense, I guess you'd want a little bit of guidance. But then on the other hand, if you are a tourist in a city, you know, a bit of that mystery, a bit of that sort of like
foreign environment, like not knowing what's going on.
Things
There's
lost
an
in
appeal to
translation.
that.
It's part of the appeal. Because to be honest, the commentary is not that interesting.
Of course, there's no shortage of translation apps on the market now to help you muddle your way through.
We are getting better and better, and at the stations or in the trains or the restaurant or the hotels. And also we are now thinking of developing some unique technology like the translation system using AI. And we want to put those trial technologies to the hotels or the restaurants so that they can see how it works and try to use it actually for the tourists in the future.
I've lived here 2 years, and Japanese is a difficult language to master, but a few basic words and phrases will help you on your way. Sumimasen, or excuse me, is incredibly polite, and the locals here love that. Arigato, or thank you, never goes astray. And if you're feeling hugely confident, eigo wa daijoubu desu ka? Is it okay to speak English? Definitely comes in handy. Chris Broad moved to Tokyo 3 years ago to work as an English teacher. Since then, he's set up his own YouTube channel, where he's been helping visitors learn the basics of Japanese. He even claims you can learn a good standard of the language in less than 6 months.
One of the most difficult hurdles with learning Japanese is there's 3 writing systems, hiragana, katakana and kanji. And hiragana and katakana, there's about 90 characters or so, and they can be learned in a week or 2. As for kanji, there's 2,200 characters, and that is the slightly more daunting task, especially as it takes Japanese people about 15 to 16 years of school and learning to actually learn them themselves. So if it takes Japanese people that long, it certainly takes us foreigners a heck of a lot longer. But it is possible. It is possible. It just takes a lot of time and a lot of study to get there.
Learning the language and experiencing new technology will definitely enhance your time here. But tour operators are already warning that the place is going to become very crowded and expensive once Olympic fever hits post-Brazil. So the advice is to book early, spread the net wider than just Tokyo, and maybe start brushing up on your Japanese right now. After all, you'll have 4 years to practice. Next, our regular look at the people who make a place with citizens. This week, we're heading to London to meet a man who looks after the city's 1,500 gas lamps, which unbelievably, 200 years after they were first installed, are still lighting up the capital's streets after dark.
I'm an operations manager. Part of my responsibility is to maintain, repair and lovingly cherish the gas lamps that we have here in London. Well, the first lamps went in the 31st of December 1813, so yeah, it's part of the fabric, if you like, of London. The difference between electric lamps and the gas lamps is the actual light that it emits. As we're travelling down the Mall here, on the right-hand side you've got the harsh, bright electric lights. And if you look to your left down the Mall slips, you've got what's more of a calming, mellow yellow light that emanates off of a gas lamp. The feedback we get from the public is, you know, when we come out and we do a repair to a lamp, the first thing they want to make sure is we're not taking it away. What we do is we'll go round, we'll obviously clean the glass, we'll replace the mantles that are in the lamp. That's what gives it the nice yellow, soft light that you see. The gas travels up through this very thin pipe here, which keeps a pilot light lit. Inside here we've got a clock. As I say, the clocks have been here since 1865. The clock spins round, hits a lever. The lever then comes up and makes the gas pass up through the valve, up the main pipe and down in the top into the 4 mantles. The clock will last 14 days, so when a lamp attendant comes around, he might come here on Monday morning. 2 weeks later, he's back at this lamp again, having to wind it. It might sound crazy to some people, but you know, myself, Gary and the team, we look as though we're custodians of these gas lamps. I make no bones about it or embarrassment about it. Hopefully they'll still be here long after we're long gone and somebody else will be looking after them.
Still to come on the travel show.
Tommy's out and about trying his hand at the latest travel gadgets. This week, he tests out a throwback to the 1980s with a handheld retro computer. And we're in Cape Town in South Africa to meet the man who's taking travellers on a township tour with a difference, with the help of his camera.
So stay with us for that.
Welcome to BBC Travel Airways, where the service and food are rubbish, but the in-flight entertainment is whatever you want it to be. With this, it's Glyph, and the makers claim it's the world's first personal cinema system. They look like an enormous pair of over-ear headphones with built-in screens in the headband, and that's basically what they are. This device projects light off 2 million micro mirrors directly into your eyes. Now that sounds terrifying, but the idea isn't much different from the technology used in the early days of HD TV. These are incredibly comfortable and very lightweight as well. We've reviewed others that have just been too heavy to wear on the bridge of your nose. Obviously, I would love it if it didn't have a wire plugged into my device. But what's nice is I can still see what's going on around me whilst I've got these on. So I can keep a little eye out for the drinks trolley. There's no sign of it yet. It's always good to be ahead of the game when it comes to gadgets, and with this, we really are, because it's a prototype. But whilst it represents the future of gaming, its roots are very much in the past. The Sinclair ZX Spectrum Vega Plus looks a little like a PlayStation Vita. It's got its own screen so you can play games on the bus, on the tube, or even a long-haul flight. It comes with 1,000 officially licensed games preloaded, so there's plenty to keep you busy. The nostalgia levels on this go through the roof. I mean, it is great to reminisce, but for the money that you pay for all these old school games and all the little glitches that they've got, the novelty just wears off really quickly. Maybe something from the past are just better left there. The market for fitness bands and smartwatches is crazy right now. There is so much to choose from. And guess what? It just got that little bit bigger because a very famous sat-nav brand wants to get in on the action with this. The TomTom Spark sports watch has GPS, heart rate monitoring and built-in music playback all in one. It's aimed at runners, cyclists and gym goers who are fed up with taking their smartphones along with them. So this could be a perfect holiday companion. However, it's not a new idea and there are a few other brands doing the same thing already. Yes, I know, there's no real need for GPS on a stationary bike in a gym, but imagine if you're in a brand new city somewhere around the world and you want to roam around on a bike, then this will keep a little eye on where you've been. Plus, it'll also allow you to continue to monitor your heart rate and your workout. And let's not forget, this is a fraction of the price of a smartwatch. They say big is beautiful, but small can be pretty slick too. This is the brand new and littlest addition to the GoPro family. The simple square box style has been growing in popularity for action cameras for a while, with the Hero 4 Session GoPro becoming one of the latest to launch a camera of this style. The design certainly has its advantages. It's 50% smaller than previous Hero 4 cameras and has a simple one-button operation. My only criticism is the battery is not removable, so you'd need a power pack or laptop to recharge it if you run out of juice. Woo! This can capture great pictures, plus it's got a wonderful panoramic lens which is superb if you're at the top of a mountain or even in your favourite city. But because the device is so small, there's no actual screen on it itself, which you do get with other models. You will need your phone and the app. But the beauty there is you can then use your phone to upload whatever it is that you film straight onto social media and share it with the world.
Thanks, Tommy. Well, to finish this week, we're continuing our special season of travel show stories from South Africa, meeting some amazing people who call the country home and learning a bit more about life there. Today, we meet the man who's taken his passion for photography into the townships of Cape Town and is encouraging tourists to tag along.
Gasunstalk is basically the coming together of young creatives from the township and photographers, and we use photography as a medium showcasing the beauty of life in the township. The Gasunstalk project is an open invite to anyone, really. Anyone can come in and be a part. Every time you see township tours, the people are always trapped in a bus and they're taking a walk and they're viewing townships through protective windows. And now here's an opportunity for them to walk in the streets and experience the life and touch the soil and taste the meat as it's fried and drink the umqombothi as it's made. And I think that's the uniqueness that we're looking to bring. So every month we choose a particular township and take a walk and just be and have a good time. I think ultimately it's about having a good time. Most of us are born in townships and we live in townships today. It's the only place that we call home. And I think it's important for us to feel positive about ourselves. You know, for us to feel positive about ourselves, we must feel positive about where we come from and what we are and what defines us. I think townships are a beautiful place, man. You know, you'd walk around in the middle of a shack town and you worry about the state that these people are living in, but once you see their faces, you see smiles. You see kids running around playing in the street. You see dogs. You know, it's happiness. It's life.
She's my companion. I walk through the hills 'cause she knows who I am. She sees my good.
When you walk down the street, I mean, as we were walking together here, the people are giving you high fives randomly just because people are curious. It gives us an extra edge from a photographic sense where you take pictures of people that want to be taken pictures of. Yes, there's always a bit of a threat, as there would be any threat when you walk down any street, be it in the city center or be it, in Stellenbosch. The same is here. So we've been walking for over a year now, and we've walked various townships across all Cape Town. In all those townships, we've never had a single incident. Are you posing? Okay. There's local models, young photographers, young designers, and we help each other out in a sense that the photographers need content, spaces where people can just collaborate on the spot and take awesome pictures.
It may be hard for you to stop and believe, but for you.
Go with me without me telling you anything right now. What do I feel is a good photo? It's the moment, I think. It's the perfectly captured moment, most of the time unplanned. For me, that's like the perfect picture. You can create a poem with every picture.
Baby, if you owe me, then all of this will go.
We don't call it outreach, we call it inreach, because I think sometimes when you go to a place, you connect more and take out more than you give. So we go out to spend a day with the local kids, and that becomes part of the Insta Walk, and we help them learn how to take photographs and that kind of vibe.
Now I want you to do the side pose. Yes, there we go.
I think it's about time we call it a day. I think it's been a good day. The weather has been on our side. The conditions have been on our side. Nyanga proved to us that the streets are not as dangerous as people make them out to be. We didn't have any threats or incidents. We're fine. We're tired, that's all.
Oh, for you, I'd leave it all.
Exploring South Africa through a photographer's eye. Well, that's all we've got time for this week. Coming up next week,
Krista heads to Hungary and takes to the track as Budapest prepares to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the first ever Grand Prix to take place behind the Iron Curtain back in 1986.
well, I hope you can join us for that if you can. And you can also catch us on social media. All the details are on your screen now. And from all of us here in Tokyo, it's goodbye.